Hi friend, a new one again. Death on the Nile, 2022. Full movie explanation in English. I'm doing. During World War I, Hercule Poirot devises a plan to aid the Allies in reclaiming land from the Central Powers, but he is unable to prevent his captain's death from a booby trap that mutilates Poirot's face. Nurse Catherine, his sweetheart, looks after him and pushes him to grow a mustache to disguise his scars. Poirot walks into a club in 1937 where jazz vocalist Salome Otterborn is performing. He sees Jacqueline Jackie de Bellefort present her fiancé Simon Doyle to her childhood friend Lynette Ridgway, who offers him a job. Lynette hires Simon on the spot, and the two have a fling, much to Jackie's chagrin. Poirot is on holiday in Egypt 6 weeks later when he runs into his acquaintance Bouc and meets his mother Euphemia, a well-known painter. Poirot is introduced to Lynette and Simon, two of Bouc's pals who have recently married and are on their honeymoon. Lynette's longtime maid Louise Burgett, Salome's niece and manager, and Lynette's old classmate Rosalie, Lynette's communist-leaning godmother Marie Van Schuyler's nurse Mrs. Bowers, Lynette's cousin Andrew Cacciadourian, who is in charge of Lynette's will, and Dr. Linus Windlesham, who was engaged to Lynette before she left him for Simon, are among the guests on the. Lynette and Simon seek Poirot's protection since Jackie has followed them there, having turned into an obsessive stalker desperate to reclaim Simon after their engagement fell through. The couple decides to board the cruise SS Karnak with their guests to get away from Jackie, but not to disrupt their honeymoon. Lynette, on the other hand, acknowledges to Poirot that she is neurotic and distrustful of her visitors. Despite Euphemia's displeasure, Bouc admits to Poirot that he is seeing Rosalie during a layover at the Abu Simbel. Bouc encourages him to find love, while Poirot gives him his blessing. Poirot begins to develop an interest in Salome, a charming woman. Lynette and Simon narrowly avoid a crashing boulder, and the guests return to the Karnak, only to discover Jackie has already boarded. Lynette and Simon decide to leave the next morning and say their goodbyes to Poirot. An inebriated Poirot runs into Jackie, who is still determined to reclaim Simon. Poirot tells her that he was meant to be with Catherine after the war ended, but she perished in a mortar explosion, prompting Poirot to shut down love feelings. While Lynette goes to bed, Simon confronts and insults Jackie, forcing her to instinctively aim at his leg before feeling regret and kicking her pistol away. While Bouc and Rosalie transport Jackie to Mrs. Bowers for treatment, Windlesham tends to Simon's wound. Next morning, Louise discovers Lynette has been shot in the head and her priceless jewel necklace has been taken. Poirot, Simon, and Bouc begin questioning the visitors in order to figure out their motives. Due to Bowers' constant surveillance, Jackie is ruled out as the killer. After being married, Louise was intended to leave Lynette's employ, but Lynette forcibly cancelled her engagement in order to keep her as her servant. Windlesham is shown to be from an aristocratic family, but he has given up his position as a doctor to aid. Bowers came from a wealthy family as well, but she and her workers were evacuated from their farms due to Lynette's parents. Poirot deduces that she is not Van Schuyler's maid, but her lover. Andrew was on the verge of letting Lynette sign a modified contract that would have embezzled her if Rosalie hadn't intervened. He also has a bigger gun. Salome's headdress conceals a gun similar to Jackie's. Lynette's necklace is discovered among Euphemia's things, and Poirot becomes suspicious of her. The murder weapon, Jackie's gun, is finally discovered wrapped in Van Schuyler's missing scarf and missing 2 bullets. Poirot gathers Bouc, Euphemia, Salome, and Rosalie and tells that Euphemia hired him to spy on Rosalie to determine if she would be a good match for Bouc. Despite Poirot's approval, Euphemia refuses to grant them her blessing, much to Bouc's chagrin, and Rosalie accuses Poirot of deception. Louise is discovered dead in the water wheel, her throat slit and money in her possessions. Poirot notices the shape of a prospective witness near blood splatter from Louise's murder as tensions rise among the. Motivated by the death of his closest friend, he and the crew of the Karnak lock the surviving guests in the boat's bar, having solved the murder. Poirot gets Andrew to confess that he had thrown the boulder at Simon and Lynette as an act of desperation, but he is adamant that he was not the killer. Poirot reveals that Simon is Lynette's killer, with Jackie as the mastermind. They are still lovers, as they arranged Simon's romance with Lynette, so Simon would inherit her wealth once she is killed. Having pretended to shoot Simon, she managed to distract Bouc and Rosalie, while Simon used pain stolen from Euphemia to fake his injury. In the nick of time, he killed Lynette in front of Louise, then shot himself in the leg with Van Schuyler's scarf as a silencer just in time for Windlesham to arrive. Jackie later killed Louise and Bouc, while Simon afterwards disposed of the murder weapon. Simon tries to flee with Jackie during a confrontation with Poirot and Salome, but Jackie, knowing there is no way out, fires through both of them, murdering the two lovers. Salome admits that she was intrigued in Poirot before he displayed his icy nature in his work as the passengers disembark. A shave. Poirot pays a visit to Salome's jazz club in London to see her perform. New movie explanation in English. To get channel like Caro, follow Caro, comment, share and subscribers Caro.